So shall we start? Okay. My father used to always tell me something which I want to share with you. That why do you want to fit inside a glass slipper? You know, like we were told, like Cinderella did. Why do you want to fit inside a glass slipper when you can shatter the glass ceiling? Well, I want to tell you a little secret. I am not very fond of this phrase, breaking the glass ceiling. Why does it annoy me? Because it takes the context of everything that I have done. All my achievements, all my hard works, and puts it into a box as if my mission was like, I want to find a glass ceiling and break it. Not at all. To be really honest, I was never in a mission to break, to shatter anything. All I wanted was to chase my dreams, my ambitions. I wanted to evolve. I wanted to be the best version of me that I could be. And of course, in Priyanka Chopra's style, along the way, I wanted to smash and break every obstacle which came my way, which I did. But that does not mean that the glass ceiling does not exist. Of course, it exists, and countless of men and women run into it in their professional and personal life. I'm sure a lot of you can vouch for that right now. The Oxford Dictionary definition of the glass ceiling is an unacknowledged barrier to advancement in a profession especially affecting women and members of minorities. So, why did I choose it as my topic for today if I hated it so much? Because I hope through my experiences I can present you the tools to live your dreams and do not make that glass ceiling, which is defined by society, largely patriarchal, as a goal. I want you to aim higher because you know you can. And it is honestly all I did. Every step of the way was to set a higher standard. How did I get here? By being fierce, by being fearless, and by being flawed. Completely and utterly flawed. I am not perfect like none of us are. So tonight, I am going to try and break it out for you in a slightly different way. I present 12 surefire ways of becoming Priyanka Chopra. So here are a few favorites from my list. Rule number 1, there is only one you. I'm talking about the core of you, who you are from inside. Rule number 2, being fearless. Let your dreams fly. Rule number 3 is you have never arrived enough to explore new opportunities. Rule number 4, be greedy for your ambitions and be hungry for it. Rule number 5, do not compromise. Do not settle on dreams. Rule number 6, fail again and then rise like a phoenix. Rule number 7, be bold and take this risk. Rule number 8, surround yourself with the right people who do not stab you in the back. Rule number 9 is you can never please to everyone all the time. Rule number 10, don't take yourself too seriously. You're not making rockets. Be calm and have fun. Rule number 11, give back. And now finally, the most important one. Rule number 12 is don't ever forget your roots and where you came from. Thank you very much.
You will have to become someone you have never been before. You've got to do something you have never done before. You got to say something you never said, and you got to go to a place that you have never been. You get to redesign. You are your Michelangelo. You are your greatest sculptor. You get to choose as much as you want. And if it doesn't make you a little afraid, then you ain't playing big enough. Your knees are supposed to knock a little bit. Your teeth are supposed to shatter. There's supposed to be at least 2 butterflies in your stomach. If not, then you're playing inside your comfort zone. And we mistake the fact that we're supposed to be comfortable 24/7. Well, comfortable is equal to complicit. I'll choose inconvenience every day, any day to make a difference on the planet. So I come here to talk to the game changers and to the change agents who are willing to confront any part of yours that's not talking to your wildly, madly, amazing future. You are the designer of your destiny. You are the author of your autobiography. You write a life story. No one can write your financial, spiritual, and emotional story but you. The pen has always been in your hands. Ask yourself, what's my dream? What are you willing to do that you have never done before? Are you willing to do that thing that you have never done before? Are you willing to look at your fears? Are you willing to look at the fact that there's always healing to come? There's always growth to come. Feel the breeze of possibilities of not knowing whether you will fly. You've heard me say this before, that there's a birthday and a transition day. And in between lies all the opportunities of this world. That's that potent. That is, are you willing to disrupt my life? You're not put here to leave my life calm. You're here to cause me to want to be someone I've never been. Do something I've never done because you have crossed my path. It's going to cost you more time than you thought you'd have. It's going to cost you much more money than you thought you'd invest. It's going to cost you that sense of, oh my God, I gotta leave. I gotta die to the old me to allow my new me to be born to my future. This is the year for reset, for restart. I aim for reignite and for redesign. I stopped by to ignite your fire, to have you confront fear. I stopped by for you to no longer make fear your enemy, make fear your fuel, because fear is an emotion like any other emotion. We just give it no power. That fear no longer becomes your fortress, rather becomes your fuel. Fear pushes you forward. Now, repeat this within you. I am ready for my next best season because I know that I am the designer of my destiny. I know that I am the author of my autobiography. I am writing my life story and others will be inspired by it. On one page, they'll read my fear. And on the next page, they'll know I did it anyways. I commit to hold fear in one hand and passion in the other, and leap and leap and leap out.
Well, children, where there is so much racket, there must be something out of kilter. I think that tweets, the Negroes of the South and the women at the North all talking about rights. The white man will be in a fix pretty soon. But what's all this you're talking about? That man over there says women need to be held into carriages and lifted over ditches and to have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helps me into carriages or over mud puddles or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arms. I have plowed and planted and gathered into barns and no man could head me. And ain't I a woman? I could work as much and eat as much as any man. But I could get it and bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most of all sold off to slavery. And when I cried out with my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman? Then they talk about this thing in the head. What's this they call it? Intellect. That's it, honey. Intellect. What's that got to do with women's right or Negroes' right? If my cup will hold the bind and yours will support, wouldn't it be mean not to let me have my little half measure full? Then that little man in black there, he says, women can't have rights as much as men, because Christ wasn't a woman. Where did your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? He came from a God and a woman. Man had nothing to do with him. You say I'm not a woman because I'm black. I have worked. I have bled. I have lost. I have cried. And ain't I a woman? Now, if the first woman God ever made strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, these women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again. And now, there is our thing to do it. You men better let them. Now, ain't it funny? They say women should be soft and quiet. But I have seen women hold broken babies and broken homes and still not break. They say we are too emotional to lead, yet we carry nations through storms. Isn't it strange? When we suffer, we're expected to be silent. When we finally speak, suddenly it's too loud. Now, the first women God ever made strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, these women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again. Obliged to you for hearing me. Now, old sojourner ain't got nothing more to say. Thank you.